Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we have quite the video in store for you. Some pretty big information about Halo's Battle Royale dropped thanks to Mr. Rebs overnight, and this is the information I have been waiting for. After discussions from what I think are 343 developers in private, he has shared key points about Halo's Battle Royale, including never before heard information. To put it bluntly, the information is comprehensive, and so is the game mode. It seemed like it had a lot of potential and had a lot of resources put into it over the years. Halo Infinite's planned Battle Royale was never announced publicly, although through leakers, data mining information, and developers sharing what they know in private, we've gotten a pretty good understanding of just what the mode was itself. So with that said, this is Halo Infinite's planned Battle Royale and exactly what happened. So first up today, my source, Mr. Rebs. I've linked his own video and all of his channel information in the description. Definitely go check it out. Everything I cover and everything I'm about to talk about is from him. In relation to the Halo Battle Royale, he posted some key dot points you really need to hear. The first dot point, and Halo story fans are going to be punching the air in a second, the planned Halo Battle Royale tied into Joe Staten's campaign narrative. Joe Staten, one of the lead writers of the best Halo campaign in history, Halo 2, joined 343 to help launch Halo Infinite, and is widely regarded as the main man responsible for bringing all of the pieces together Infinite related to get a shippable game out the door. The Battle Royale tied into the multiplayer story he was spearheading before 343 cancelled it completely. Remember, Joe was the main push to get your own Spartan into the multiplayer story, and more than that, he always said it was important for the weapon you had at the end of a mission to be the same one you're holding in the cutscene. Joe nailed small nitty-gritty details, which I always really appreciated. It wouldn't surprise me that the main story of the multiplayer was really going to evolve with the release of the Battle Royale. However, now, at this point, we're never going to see that. As a quick side note to that, as soon as the multiplayer story was gaining steam and getting better, and honestly, the whole game was really improving Season 4 and Season 5, Microsoft fired staff and axed a majority of the teams responsible for the multiplayer story. The next thing you need to know is that 343 held internal playtests for Project Tatanka, the Battle Royale, on a weekly basis. Now we know there was private playtests for a while. Images came out of the Battle Royale and it said duos, trios, there was even playtests against bots and real players. It really does seem like 343, Microsoft, and Certain Affinity put a lot of resources into this mode, but from what even I heard, and I'll talk more about it in a little bit after I cover Mr. Reb's notes, the planned Battle Royale had some really big stability issues. Now, something that everybody has wanted from the dawn of time is to be able to drop into a map with ODST drop pods, not necessarily a Battle Royale. And take the Battle Royale game mode out of it for a second, I would love to be able to drop into a multiplayer BTB game or Last Spartan Standing or anything like that in an ODST drop pod. Apparently that's something 343 wanted as well. As the dot point reads, players started in a loading bay and dropped into the map in ODST drop pods. I'm not even a huge Battle Royale fan, and I'm disappointed we haven't gotten to experience that. Yes, Forgers have made it themselves, and they're absolute legends, but Forge just isn't developer made, you know? It's missing that level of polish, and something that seemed like a consistent trend throughout this whole video, and something you guys are going to notice, is that this all seems like a massive missed opportunity. So much missed potential that Halo fans would have loved. I really think this planned game mode would have brought so many things to Infinite that could have been used in the regular arena-based playlists. For example, the next dot point speaks about biomes. The dot point reads, the map took place on fragments of the Zeta Halo ring. Each fragment had different biomes with man cannons to launch the players to other fragments. So not only do we miss out on story content that Halo players have been wanting for years, but also different biomes, something else Halo players have wanted for God knows how long. The destroyed ring like the campaign, a massive landscape, man cannons so you can fly around with a beautiful snow, desert, forest, and swamp aesthetic. What a missed opportunity. I'm genuinely surprised we haven't seen that much content from the Battle Royale make its way into regular multiplayer, at least in terms of the map terrain to create new maps with the dev tools. The health recharge equipment, I think, would have been straight out of the Battle Royale in my opinion. Now, in terms of how the mode actually played, there was mini objectives rewarding players with power items, equipment, and partial shields. I've heard rumors these mini objectives range from defeating enemies to securing certain objectives objectives to holding zones. To me, from everything I've read in Mr. Reb's videos, and even from Sean W's from years ago, it really seemed like this was more than a battle royale. It's really easy to throw that term around, and I think everyone goes, ew, yuck, I don't want that, but it really seemed like a PvP VE experience. And what I mean by that is, yes, you go up against other players, but there's also AI as well. I would have been open to at least trying it, giving feedback, and seeing if it's something that fits the Halo formula. It really could have brought together some of the best things from Halo's sandbox and provided a unique experience. Now, moving on from that, the next dot point is about vehicles, and specifically the Falcon. Now, when we heard the latest information about the Falcon, we heard the Falcon was created for a specific mode in mind, and the dot point reads, Pelicans dropped off vehicles including the Falcon. This makes perfect sense, honestly. You have a squad of 4 Spartans, you need to be able to fit everyone into a vehicle. The Falcon is the warthog of the sky. I really think the Falcon would have led to some amazing Halo moments. It is such a shame we don't have it at least for big team battle. Now, when the new leadership took over at 343, so Bonnie Ross left, Frank O'Connor is gone, and then Kiki Wolfkill went to work at Microsoft in a different position, the new leadership took over at 343, and the Battle Royale was not cancelled. That's right, it was actually rebranded from Tatanka to Project Eckert. Tatanka, if you didn't know, was a wrestler and he won a battle royale, hence the codename Project Tatanka. So the new leadership at 343 renamed Tatanka as Project Eckert. However, during 2023, so 343 could focus on the next game, the battle royale was ultimately cancelled. Some of you will be fist pumping the sky and saying, hooray, no battle royale! And I feel like that's a fair reaction. However, some of you will also be disappointed, as anything new Halo related nowadays seems like a rare commodity. I cannot stress enough how much I don't like battle royales. I said it before, but Halo's sandbox is amazing. I think it could have blown other battle royales out of the water. This brings me to the key point Mr. Rebs touched on, and what you guys will probably be asking yourselves right now. Why did it get cancelled? The answer is 343 didn't have the resources to pour into the battle royale. This was thanks to the Microsoft layoffs, making the required work to get it into a state that would be worthy of the Halo name impossible. The kicker here is, yes, the planned battle royale did require a lot of work to get it where it needed to be, but then even on top of that, it required so much more work because of the stupid slipspace engine. It really is a massive blunder just how bad the slipspace engine is. Here is why I say that. Not only does it require devs to learn as they join, there's really no documentation on how to learn it, which eats up a lot of time. Usually it takes 6 months to train someone up to learn the slipspace engine, but then even once they've done that, using the slipspace engine to actually create content is a time-consuming, stressful mess that is an absolute nightmare to do anything on. The engine really might have been the major downfall of the Battle Royale, as even I've heard from my own sources, the engine limitations caused massive stability issues with the game mode. As soon as they went to higher player counts, or even when they were stress testing, or even when they were doing the general play tests, the game mode seemed to crash a lot. It might be another reason why 343 ultimately decided to move to the Unreal Engine, but ultimately, we'll never know. With all of the issues the slipspace engine has caused, the amount of work required to get Project Eckert where it needed to be, and with all of the Microsoft layoffs that severely reduced the team sizes working on this project, it's no surprise we never saw the Battle Royale released or even announced. From everything I read from Mr. Rebs, even if you aren't a Battle Royale fan, there really was a lot of fun Halo ideas planned for this. I really hope if some of the assets were almost complete, to anyone at 343, please consider releasing them into the regular multiplayer. At least in terms of weapons, vehicles, equipment, I think people would absolutely love that. And that's it. That is the story of what we know of Halo's planned Battle Royale. Thank you again to Mr. Rebs. I've linked all of his socials and his own video in the description. Go check him out. Let me know what you think of the Battle Royale in the comments below. But thank you all for watching. A very interesting video today, and I'll see you guys later.